this lesson, we are going to take up some more problems on signal flow graph and block diagram reduction. Okay. So what was Mason's gain rule? We had seen in the last class. Mason's gain rule is 1 by delta into sigma k equals 1 to n pk delta k. Okay. What is delta? What is the n? N is the number of forward paths. N is the number of forward paths. What is pk? Pk is the path gain of the kth forward path. Okay. Pk is the path gain of the kth forward path. What is delta? Delta means 1 minus sum of all individual loop gains plus sum of gain product of all possible combination of two non-touching loops and so on. Okay. And finally, delta k is nothing but delta that does not touch the kth forward path. So let us try this question. Obtain a signal flow graph for the following set of equations. Okay. A11 x1 plus blah blah blah, A21 x1 plus blah blah blah. Okay. So here R1 and R2 are the input variables, and x1 and x2 are other nodes or other signals. Okay. So first there should be two nodes, R1 and R2. Okay. Then there should be two other nodes representing x1 and x2. Okay. Now what is x1? There is a branch from R1 at unity gain. Okay. Plus a branch from x2 at a gain of A12. Fine. What next? A branch from x1 at a gain of A11. So this is A11. So we are done with the first set of equations, for the first equation. Coming to the second equation, x2 equals R2 plus. So there should be a branch from R2 at a gain of 1, a branch from x2 again at a gain of A22. So this is A22. And from x1 at a gain of A21. Okay, this is what is shown here, right? This is how we can obtain the signal flow graph for the given set of equations. Let us try next question. Obtain the transfer function y of s by r of s. We are given this signal flow graph. What's the first step? We are determining the forward path gains and the loop gains. So are there any paths? Yes, there are. Which is that first path? Say for example, 1, G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6. That is a forward path. So 1, G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6. That is one possible forward path and the path gain. Next path, 1, G1, G2, G7, G6. 1, G1, G2, G7, G6. 1, G1, G2, G7, G6. Okay. Third path, 1, G1, G2, G3, G4, G7. Okay. 1, G1, G2, G3, G4, G8. 1, G1, G2, G3, G4, G8. G4, G8. Okay. So there are three possible forward paths. Now what are the loop gains? L1, it is obvious, right? So let me wipe off all these things. Okay. L1, what is that? One possible loop is G4 minus H4. So minus G4, H4. Another loop gain? Yes, G8 minus H1. That is another loop gain. G8 minus H1. And another loop. Is there any other loop? G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, H3. That is yet another loop. So I can write G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, minus H3. Okay, minus H3. Another loop, which is that G2, G3, G4, G5, minus H2. Like this. G2, G3, G4, G5, minus H2. Okay, so G2, G3, G4, G5, minus H2. Fine. Is there any other loop? Fifth loop? Yes. Which is that G1, G2, G7, then G7, G6, no, G2, G2, G7, okay, minus H2. That is also possible, right? G2, G7, minus H2. That is another possibility. Okay. Any other possible loops? L6. So this we had counted G2, G7 minus H2. Then what next? G1, G2, G7, G6 minus H3. G1, G2, G7, G6 minus H3. That's another possibility. Okay. G1, G2, G7, G6 minus H3. Okay. Any other loop? Any other loop? G1, G2, G7, G6, H3 we have considered. Then any other loop? Two more loops are there, right? Which are they? G1, G2, G7, G6 we did. G2, G3, G4, G5 minus H2. G2, that also we did. This we did. G minus G8, H1 that we did. G4 minus H4 that we did. G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, H3 that also we did. Then what else? G2, G7 minus H2. My G2, G7 minus H2 that also we did. Then there are two more. Which are they? G2, G3, G4, G5 minus H2 that we did. G2, G7. No, we didn't do that, right? So G2, G7 minus H2. That also we did, right? What next? G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, H3. That also we did. Then G8 minus H1 also we did. So what are the other remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Another loop. G1. So what is the other thing? Yeah, this is possibility. G5, G6 minus H1. Yeah, that we didn't write, right? So G5, G6 minus H1. Okay. Then anything else? G1, G2, G3, G5, G4, G8 like this. G1, G2, G3, G4, G6 minus H3. That is yet another loop possibility. Okay. So L8 will be G1, G2, G3, G4, then G8 minus H3. Okay. There are total 8 loops. Okay. 3 forward paths and 8 loops. So what will be our Mason's gain rule in this case? Y of s by R of s will be what? 1 by delta into P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 plus P3 delta 3. Okay. So what is delta? Delta means 1 minus sum of all individual loop gains. That means L1 plus L2 plus etc. plus L8. Okay. Plus what? Sum of gain product of all possible combination of two non-touching loops. Do we have any non-touching loop pair? Yes, G4 minus H4 is not touching G2, G7 minus H2. Okay, so that means L1, G7, G2, G7, H8, my G2, G7, H2, L1, L5. Okay, plus what next? Then G2, G7, this thing, L5 and G8, H1, they are not touching. Which is that? L2, L5, L2. Okay, plus what next? L1 and G1, G2, G7, G6 minus H3. G1, G2, G6, G1 minus G1. So L1 and L6 plus L1, L6. Okay, they are not touching. Okay, L1, L5. L1 is G4, H4, and H5 is L5 is minus G2, G7, H2. They are non-touching. Then L5, L2. L5 and L2 is G8, H1. Yeah, they do not have any node in common. And L1, L6. L1 is G4, H4, G1, G2, G7, G6, right? They are also not touching. So remaining terms will be 0. Okay. Now what is delta 1? 1 minus sum of all loop gains not touching first path. First path is all the loops are touching. So 1 minus 0, which is 1. What is delta 2? 1 minus sum of all loop gains not touching second path. Which is the second path? G1, G2, G7, G6. So we have G4 minus H4 not touching. So 1 minus L1. What is delta 3? G1, G2, G3, G4, G8. G1, G2, G3, G4, G8. So delta 3 is also 1. So you can substitute that and you will get what is your overall transfer function, y of s divided by r of s. Okay. Let us try next question. Determine y of s by r of s. Forward path. What is that? 1 into 1 by s into k1 into again 1 into k2 by s. Okay. That means k1 k2 by s square. Any loops? L1, yes, minus k2s and k3, they are in loop. So minus k1 k3 by s. Sorry, minus k3 k2, minus k3 k2 by s. L1 is minus k2 k3 by s. Next loop, this thing 1 by s k1 into minus 1. So that means minus k1 by s. Any other loop? Yes, this is another loop. Okay, so L3 will be what? Minus K1, K2 by S. Okay, so there are 3 loops. So what will be the transfer function? Y by R will be what? Y of S by R of S equals 1 by delta into V1 delta 1. Right? So what is delta? Delta means 1 minus sum of all individual loop gains L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus what? Sum of gain product of all possible combinations of 2 non-touching loops, which are they? This L3 and L2. They don't touch, right? L3 and L2. L2 is minus K1 by S. Minus K1 by S. This is L2, right? Minus K1 by S, and L3 is this thing, the last loop. Okay, so I can write L2, L3. Okay, so what do you get if you just substitute? So that is delta. What is delta 1? Delta 1 is 1. Okay, because delta 1 means 1 minus sum of all loop gains not touching the first forward path, and all the loops are touching the first path, either here or there. So delta 1 is 1. Just substitute and solve. What do you get? You should get this expression k1 k2 divided by s square plus k1 plus k2 k3 plus k1 k2 whole into s plus k1 k2 k3. Okay, this will be the final transfer function. Now, obtain the signal flow graph for an armature controlled DC motor and obtain theta m of s by E of s. So there is a one-to-one correspondence between a signal flow graph and a block diagram. Okay, so block diagram we had already seen in one of the previous lectures. Okay, let us concentrate on that. Right. So since there is a one-to-one correspondence, it is very easy to obtain the signal flow graph. We know that summing points or error detectors and pick-off points. Okay, what do? They will simply manipulate the input signals. Right. They will not add any gain from its own hand. Okay, it will simply manipulate the signals. Right. So when you consider signal flow graph, what you can do? You have to represent each summing point and pick-off point with unity gain branches like this. Okay, so this represents the summing point. Okay, so all other blocks will have their own gains, so it's not to worry. There is nothing to worry. Okay, so this is the input of the summing point. This is the output of the summing point. So where's the output of summing point going to? It goes to the input of this block. Okay, so this gain must be 1 divided by RA plus SLA. What is the signal at this point? Signal at this node, it is nothing but IA of S. So this is IA of S. Now, output of this block is going to where? To the input of the second block KT. Right? Now, what is the output of KT? It is the variable Tm of S, the torque developed by the motor. Right? There is another summing point, so replace that with a gain of 1. Okay? Then, output of the summing point is TL of S. So this variable is the load torque. Right? What should be the next branch? Gain of 1 by SJM plus DM. Okay. What next? That's a pick off point. So that must be replaced with a gain of 1. Then what next? We have a gain of 1 by S. Okay. So this is our theta. Right? Now, where should this load disturbance torque TD appear? TD is appearing at the input of the summing point. Where's the input of the summing point? This is the input of the summing point. Okay. So you have to add TD at this point. Okay. What will be the gain? -1. Why -1? Because it is coming at negative sign here. Okay. So signal flow graph, we have to include the polarity along with the gain of the branch. Okay. So this variable is TD of S. Fine. Now what next? So there's a branch, there's a signal going to the input of the summing point. Where is that coming from? From the output of the pick-off point. Where is the output of the pick-off point? It is at this point. Okay. This represents the input to the pick-off point as well as output of 1 by SJM plus DM. Okay. So this point represents the output of the block 1 by SJM plus DM as well as the input of the pick-off point. We are taking the signal from the output of the pick-off point. So it should come from here. Where it should go? It should go to here. Okay. What's the gain of this branch? Gain of this branch is minus KB. Okay. So this signal will be what? EA minus. So this signal is BB of S. Okay. So this is how to construct the signal flow graph. Fine. That is what is shown here. Right. So you see there is one forward path. What is the forward path gain? 1 by RA plus SLA into KT into 1 by DM plus SJM into 1 by S. Okay, that is what is written here. KT divided by RA plus SLA into SJM plus DM into S. Okay, now there is one loop. So what will be the loop gain? Loop gain will be what? 1 by RA plus SLA, this into this into this. So you will get minus KT KB divided by S into RA plus SLA into DM plus SJM. Okay. So if this TD is 0, if the disturbance is 0, what happens? This signal TM will be equal to TL. In that case, what will you get? What will be the transfer function? It will be KT divided by S into RA plus SLA into SJM plus DM plus KBKT. Okay. So in this way, you can convert a given block diagram into a signal flow graph. Right. Now let us try the next question. Solve for Y1 of S by R1 of S and Y2 of S by R1 of S when R2 of S is equal to 0. Okay. So I will draw it on another file. Okay. So we'll continue. Solve for Y1 of S by R1 of S and Y2 of S by R1 of S when R2 of S is equal to 0. That's a question. Okay. So let us try solving that. So you see here, the question is to find what is Y1 of S by R1 of S. Okay, Y1 of S divided by R1 of S. Fine. So how can we solve this? There are two inputs, R1 of S and R2 of S. So this is where we have to apply superposition principle. Okay, we are discussing about linear time invariant systems. And what is a linear system? One which obeys both superposition principle and homogeneity property. Okay, So to find y1 by r1, you have to make r2 of s as 0. Okay, you need to just ignore that. Okay, let me redraw that. What will you get? So here is our r1, right? This is r1. This is g1. This is the summing point. Here is g2. And here is y1. Okay, so here we have a block with a gain of h1 plus minus. This is coming from output of g2, right? Then, so from here comes gain of g3. Okay, so r2 is 0. So you see here, since r2 is 0, you can ignore that. Okay, so it is as if a signal from h2 is directly coming to g5 like this. Okay, because this summing point is 0. When do you need a summing point? When there are more than one signals. So since R2 is 0, there is only one signal coming from H2. That means you can ignore the summing point also. Okay, so this pick-off point remains there. That will be there. That won't change. Okay, pick-off point will not get shifted, right? So I can draw it like this. G3. Then here is my G5. So from here I have G4. Okay, and this is G6 and this is H2. Okay, so we need to find the transformation between R1 and Y1. Okay, now how can we do that? What's the first possibility? First possibility is that we can shift this summing point to this side. Okay, that is the first thing that we can do. Okay, so when you do that, what will you get? So when you are shifting this G3, it is not G3 anymore. It will be G3 divided by G1. Okay, so now what will you get? It becomes this summing point. Okay, so here it becomes G3 by G1. Okay, then comes the block G1. Fine. Then here comes G2. Here comes Y1. Other things will remain the same. This is plus, this is minus. Here we have H1 and here we have G2, right? So from here we have G4. This is coming to a summing point. This is coming like this from G5. This is H2. This is coming from G6. Okay. This is whatever the polarity here. Polarity was plus plus, right? This was plus plus. That was plus minus, and here it was plus plus. Okay. So here it will be plus. Okay, and this is plus plus. Right. Now what next? Now as a next step, what can we do? We can shift this pick-off point. We can shift this pick-off point to this side. Okay, this pick-off point can be shifted to this point. Okay, so what will we get? Again, what will we get? So first, this summing point comes into the picture. Then G1, G2 will be in cascade. Okay, so I can club G1, G2 together. So this becomes G1. Sorry. This becomes G1 only, right? It cannot be clubbed. It cannot be cascaded. So this is plus, minus, plus, right? So this becomes G1. This becomes G2, right? And this is Y1. So now this is not H1 anymore. What it is? It will be H1 into G2. Okay, so this will be H1 into G2. That is coming from here like this. Correct? Everything else will remain the same. This is G3 by G1. Then here there is a block G4 that goes to summing point. and this comes from G5 plus plus. And you see here, this G6 and H2, they are in cascade. Okay, so I can club it. They are in cascade. G5, G6, H2. Okay, one input goes here, one input goes here. Right? Now you see what happens. This thing is in feedback. Correct? That is in feedback. So that means those two can be clubbed. Okay. So in the next step, I am clubbing that. So what will I get? Summing point. Now I will have one single block whose equivalent transformation is what? G1 divided by, what is this? G divided by 1 plus G into H. Okay. So G1 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1. Okay. Other things will remain the same. This is G2. This is Y1. Okay. So here we have G3 by G1. Then here we have G5. Right. From here we have G4. Here there's a summing point. This thing. And this is nothing but G6, H2. Coming out of this. Okay. So this much we did, right? Now what next? What next is that? See, how is this loop? This is starting from the summing point and ending at the same summing point, right? You just need to consider only this much part. This will be in feedback. What kind of feedback? Positive feedback. Okay. This much block, they will be in positive feedback. You see, it is coming from summing point G6H2, then it is going back, ending at the same summing point. That means these two can be clubbed together. Okay, and like this, like this. So this is summing point here. This is R1. Okay. Then here we have G1 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1. Then here we have G2. Fine. This is my Y1. This is coming here. This is G4. Okay. It is going. So this much is in feedback. So what is G and what is H here? What is G and what is H? G means the forward path transformation. What is G here? G is G6H2. This is my G. Okay. And this is my H. Okay. So G divided by 1 minus. Why minus sign? Because of positive feedback. Okay. So I can straight away write like this. There's a block here whose gain is G6H2 divided by 1 minus G5, G6, H2. Okay. So its output is going to where? Its output is going to G3 by G1. Okay. So here we have G3 by G1. Right. Its output is coming like this. Now you see, what can we do? What is the polarity here? Polarity was plus here only. Okay. Plus plus. Now you see this block G4, this thing and G3 G1, they are G3 by G1, they are in cascade. Okay, means what? I can club all these things, so you will get this much. This much as, sorry, not that, not that. You will get these much things in cascade. Okay, so I can write it like this. So this is our so you will get the summing point with R1 plus plus this block is G1 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1. Then here we have G2. This is my Y1. Okay. So what will be this block? This block will be something like this. So these are all in cascade. If you cascade and do a simplification, you will get G3, G4, G6, H2, G3, G4, G6, H2 whole divided by G1 into 1 minus G5, G6, H2. Okay. Now what happens? This is in feedback. Okay. So when you simplify that, what will you get? This will be in feedback and it will be in cascade with G2. Okay. So when you do that, you will get the final answer as Y1 by R1 will be equal to G1, G2 into 1 minus G5, G6, H2 whole divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1 into 1 minus G5, G6, H2 minus G3, G4, G6, H2. Okay, this will be the final transfer function. Okay, this will be the final transfer function. Fine. Now, what's the next part? Next part is to find what is Y2 by R1. Okay, what is Y2 by R1, right? When R2 is equal to 0. So Y2 by R1 means what? Y2 by R1 means we have to ignore R1 part. Okay, this part will become 0. There is no R1 now. Okay, let us try doing that. So R1 is 0, so we will draw that. Okay, so here there is no need of this block, no need of summing point. Right? You can assume that straight away this H1 is coming to G1. Okay, straight away this H1 is coming to G1. Right? Oh, sorry. Solve for Y1, Y2 by R1. Yeah. So Y2 by R1 when R2 is 0. So R2 is 0 means this part is 0. Okay. So this will be there. Okay. So we have to find what is Y2 divided by R1. Y2 divided by R1. Okay. So let us read out that. So R1 is there. This is R1. Then this is G1. Summing point. G2. Then H1. Okay. Coming from the output of G2. This is H1, right? Then what are the other things? So from here we have G3, right? Then this is R2. What is the question? Oh, this is R1, right? So that will not be there. This thing is not there. Okay. When R2 is equal to 0. So R2 is not there, right? So this is G5, summing point, G4, G6. This is Y2, and here we have our H2. Okay, so this polarity is plus plus, this is plus plus, and this is plus minus, right? And now we have to find the relationship between R1 and Y2. Okay, so what's the first step? So we can think shifting this pick-off point to this side. Okay, so what will we get? You will get something like this. So here we have our actual summing point R1 at plus sign. So now this is H1, right? So now what happens? So here is our G1, here is our G2 that is coming like this. Okay, so this branch has been shifted. So when you're shifting this summing point to the left side of G1, what happens? This becomes G3 by G1. G3 by G1. Everything else remains the same. Okay, so from here we have G4. Here is the summing point. Fine. Then here we have G5 that is going to the summing point. This is G6. This is Y2. And here we have our H2. Okay, everything else remains the same, right? Now what next? We can think of shifting this pickoff point to the right side of G2, to the right side of G2. So what happens? What will be the change? So everything else will remain the same, okay? So this is our summing point. This is R1 plus, this is G1. So when you shift this pickoff point to the right side of G2, G1, G2 are in cascade. Let me write it in one go. This is G1, G2, okay? So here we have H1, fine? Everything else will remain the same. So now, what next? Here we had G3 by G1, right? Here we have G5. So this pickoff point is being shifted to the right side of G2. So this is not G4 anymore. This will be G4 by G2. Okay. So this is G4 by G2. Okay. And this is coming to this summing point. So from G5 you get that here. So here we have G6 and this is Y2. Here we have H2. Okay. So now you see this much they are in feedback. Okay. What is the polarity there? It was plus minus. So this was minus here. This was minus here, right? Plus and minus here, right? The bottom one was plus. So these two can be solved now. Okay. So what will be the effective transfer function now? It will be one summing point is here. We will have one block, one single block. Okay. What's the block gain? So this is G and this is H. This is G, this is H. G divided by 1 plus GH. So you will get G1, G2 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1. Okay. G1, G2 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1. Okay. So this will be the transfer function. Right. Now what next? Now you see this is now single block. That and G4 by G2. How are they? They are in cascade. Okay. So I can straight away write it like this into G4 by G2. Okay. That is going to this summing point. Okay. I will just redraw it. This is going to the summing point. Okay. From the summing point, we have G6, whose output is Y2. Okay. And from there, we have a block. What is that? That is at a gain of H2. Okay. That's at a gain of H2. Where is that going to? That is going to G5. Right? So here we have a plus sign. G3 by G1 is there. So this should come from H2. H2. Like this. Okay. What next? We have one more branch there. What is that? G5 was there. So G5. Okay. So from here we have a gain of G5 coming at this point. That polarity is plus, I think, right? It is plus plus. Okay. So now what next? What next? You see these two blocks are in cascade. So I can simplify them. So in the next step, I can simply draw it like this. One block. So G2 and G2 gets cancelled. So here we have a simple transfer function. G1, G4 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1. Okay. Then there will be another summing point whose output goes to G6. This is Y2. Then here this is R1. This is G3 by G1. Okay. Then there is a block G5 that ends at this point with a positive polarity. Then there is one more block coming from H2. Okay, from the output of G6. Is this much clear? Now what can we do as a next step? As a next step, I would suggest that we can shift this summing point to this side of the block. Okay, so if you shift that summing point, what happens? G3 by G1 and this G5 thing will be in parallel. Okay, because these two are now at the same summing point. So when do we say in parallel, blocks in parallel? When they start from the same pickoff point and ends at the same summing point. Okay, so I can shift this summing point to this side of the block. Right. So what happens? So now I will have my R1 here, right? So I have my block here. This is now G1, G4 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1. Okay. So that will be coming here. So this block and G6 will be in cascade. So I can straight away write here G6. Okay. Now what next? So here already I have G3 by G1, right? Then so this is summing point has been shifted to this side. So what happens? So this is not G5 anymore. This will be G5 divided by this block gain. Okay, G5 divided by this block gain. So what will be that? That will be something like this. Okay, if you do that simplification, you will get G5 into 1 plus G1, G2, H1 whole divided by G1, G4, right? So other things will be as usual, H2. And where's that coming from? That is coming from the output of this Y2. Okay, so these two branches, they are in parallel now. Okay, so they can be clubbed into one single transfer function. So what will you get? These two can be clubbed. Okay, so when you club it and simplify that, what do you get? You will get one single transfer function. That and H2 will be in cascade. Okay, so this and H2 will be in cascade, right? Then that block and G1, G4, G6 by 1 plus G1, G2, H1 will be in feedback. Okay, so in this way you can solve the entire thing. So your final answer must be like this. Y2 by R1 will be G1, G4, G6 whole divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1 minus G3, G4, G6, H2 minus G5, G6, H2 minus G1, G2, G5, G6, H1, H2. This will be your final transfer function. Okay, so in this way you can solve block diagrams which have multiple inputs and multiple outputs. Okay, suppose the question is to find what is the total output. Okay, what is the total output Y1 or what is the output Y2 due to in R1 and R2? What will you do? You have to consider one input at a time and then you have to add it up. Okay, you have to add it up. Did you understand what I'm saying? Suppose the question is what is Y2? Okay, so there are two inputs R1 and R2. So Y2 will have a component due to R1 and another component due to R2. Okay, so to find the total output Y2, you have to put R2 equal to 0 first. Solve what is the component due to R1 in Y2, right? Say that is, let me call that as YR1. Okay, now you put R2 and make R1 equal to 0. Solve for your Y2. Let that be YR2. Okay, you simply need to add it up. Okay, to get what is your total Y2. If that was the question. Okay, so we'll stop here for the day. Thank you.